And we'll get going. Both you folks have your videos turned off. That's fine if you're in your pajamas and you want to stay anonymous. That's totally fine. But if you want to turn your screen on so I can see you for any corrections, that would be the bottom left of your laptop screen, somewhere down, in the corner. So you're welcome to do either. And let's get going. Okay. So we always begin sitting at the front edge of the chair, hands resting comfortably, shoulders relaxed, elbows sunken. One of the big insights of the Taoist practitioners, really any mindful movement practice, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, and others, is noting that we are doing extra. So a lot of times we're clenching our bodies, but we've gotten so accustomed to it that we don't even know it's happening. And it's exhausting, and it also has negative effects on mechanics. And so, this idea that what we're doing in the beginning is a lot of time it's addition by subtraction. You are letting go of and stopping doing something you didn't even know you were doing, like shoulders shrugged up really high. You didn't even know you were doing it until you took a second and then you found, whoa, okay, let go and relax. So the two sides of the coin are you're doing something that you need to stop doing. You got to let go. But there's also the idea of collapse, that let's say the structure has lost cabin pressure. The pelvis is spilled back and the chest is dropped and the head is forward. And so no amount of relaxation is going to fix that. So that's where we have to apply doing. We have to tip the pelvis forward, lift the chest up, draw the chin slightly down. So that's this word. Whenever I say zhong zheng, I mean all of that. I mean, create your central pillar, right? And this is something that the aging human has to deal with. Parkinson's is just increasing that challenge of, let's say, Chris, I know you're here today, your head, you've gotten accustomed to your head being forward. So you have to go, oh, I got to apply the opposite. I got to make a lot of effort to get that head and neck way back to even have a chance of finding middle, right? And so each of you have to learn your body and learn what your main sort of symptomatic manifestation is. And then do something about it, right? Only you can do something. So anyway, here we are at Zhong Zheng, central upright. Then we try to let go and relax. And there's only a certain amount that you can let go of just by saying let go, right? And you can get better at that. But again, there's just, let's say, the top 10% layer, you can just decide to relax. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel a change through the skin, the layers of tissue, the nervous system. You'll also maybe feel chun one, or a sinking quality. A sinking quality. So you got to allow, yield that sinking through the chair, through your legs. That is the process of being more grounded, being more stable, is letting go of the tension that you're holding with good posture, and it makes its way to the earth and grounds us, stabilizes us. And then also there's Qingling, or lightness and nimbleness. So that's a result of Zhongjang, relaxation, Song, and Chunwan, releasing everything to the earth. The net result is this Qingling, lightness, nimbleness, agility. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath in. Out through the mouth. Hold the breath out. Do that 10 more times. Now, with the breath, we do our first movements. These movements help us get to those places of tension and unawareness that we can't just immediately get to with our attention. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, and arch the back. And just hold this shape. Take time to try to get as far into this shape as you can. Head back even more, Chris, if you can. Head, but yeah, exactly. And find how much further you can go and further you can go. And as a medicine, you should spend minutes a day, multiple times a day, just in this shape, just arching, just back, trying to battle against the habit of rounding, slouching, falling forward, right? And then let's settle back to neutral and go into the complementary opposite position. Slide the hands past the knees, hollow your chest, drop your head, round your back. And just hold this shape for a little bit. This helps to open up the back and allow the nerve flow through the body. Let's do this twice more. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades. We go through neutral to this arched position. Holding. You can time it with the breath, but also you don't have to. And in many ways, it's better to not worry about it. Just breathe freely and really work on the shape shifting, changing the shape your body is in. Because what I noticed with my work with Parkinson's and just aging humans is they're stuck in a shape. And the point is, there is no one right shape for the body to be in, because the body is a set of mechanisms. So mechanisms are about function, they're about change, they're about movement. So we have to battle against getting stuck. In a way, that's Chinese medicine, sort of in its simplest approach. And there's many ways to help this, but we want flow, we want freedom. Last time, make that big arch position, and then just settle to neutral. So we broke up some stagnation. Let's do it in the other directions. Left hand forward, right hand and elbow back. Turn the shoulders, turn the head. Just hold that shape for a bit. See if you can get a little further, and get a little further, and get a little further. Breaking up that limit, that boundary. Then when you're ready, just settle back to middle and go the other way. So the more you attend this class, the more you learn these movements, the goal would be they become tools, weapons for you in this battle against the brain and body disconnect, the residue and rust buildup, the stagnation and blocking of pathways. Again, we can do these movements in flow like we often do, but today we're working on using them sort of like chiropractic adjustments, right? You're turning and holding the shape, going a little further into the shape and a little further. So different application of the same movement. After you do your next one to your left, let that be your last one. And let's settle back to middle. Hang your arms loose. Notice that you can teeter-totter between your buttocks. You can have more weight in your left buttock, more weight in your right buttock. Now go to your right buttock and lean the 24 vertebrae of the spine. Float your left wrist up. Notice it's close to the body. Float it up like a little puppet string is on the wrist. And then this foot floats. And then back to center. So crown of head up high, neutral. And then teeter-totter to the other buttock and lean. Make this shape. And then neutral. So this really helps you calibrate middle, center. One more. And middle. Shoulder blades, they shrug up and come down. They also squeeze back and spread apart. So now from this spread apart position, lift up, slide them over top, squeeze back, slide them down, hang them in neutral, then go forward and up, over top, back and down, neutral, continue. Like I said, the shoulders are not about being held in one position, they're about being relaxed completely so that they're in the most functional, ready state. And so, yes, when we clean everything out, the arms will, the shoulders will hang in what we would call neutral, but it's not about saying, okay, let me hold them here. I found the right position. It's the state that they're in. And so that's what these shenfa, these body mechanism movements, that's what these produce for us, is a state of being. Let's go ahead and reverse. Back and up, forward and down. Neutral. Back and up, forward, down. Neutral. Continue. And release. Bring legs together. Tip forward, float the hands forward but not up, and then this big circle. Remember, staying low. Bring the arms around behind and in close to the body, and then neutral. So remember this concept of freedom of movement of all the body parts, all the mechanisms through their range of motion, which induces, cultivates function, which is what this body needs to do for us, right? Let's go forward and up. We're trying to induce function, to promote function. So the arms cannot function, the body cannot function if it's stuck. So each of these shenfa is about breaking up a very common place of stagnation and impediment, but also really important is each exercise, start to notice how neutral shows up every time. So we're always going on a little journey. Let's go all the way up, over top, out, down, right? We went on this big old journey, but we return to neutral, soft and relaxed. And then we go again. All the way. Big, round, neutral. One more. Neutral. Now we reverse. Back, out, come around to the front, in, neutral. Back, out, around, in, neutral. Again. And then we go back, out, up, cross, down. Right? So these are tools. Notice how I'm using this tool to free up the hips, the arms, the shoulders, the whole body. by leaning and tipping and flowing through movement. And then back out, up, over top, down, neutral every time. Back and up, over top, down, neutral, back up, over, down, and pause. Now we fold at the elbows. Elbows flare out and up, and then down, and then around and squeeze, down, out and up, down. So again, it's just the mechanisms of the body being put through the positions that they're meant to go through. And then pull back behind, down, forward, up, forward, down, back, down, forward, up. And I do these types of movements all the time, and I always end up running into residue. So the body's always producing sort of blockage. And unless we keep our daily practice, right, it builds up. Let's go elbows to the side, left hand up, right hand down. It's just like dental issues, it's just like plaque buildup, right? There's this plaque buildup in the body that we have to floss every day. So this is an approach that gets to all those mechanisms, all those spots. Elbows down, arms in front, palms facing up. Turn palms down, up, down, up, down, up. Palms facing up, hands go out while elbows stay in. Then hands come in, elbows go out and around. Just notice how far my elbows are coming forward. Then elbows come to the body as the hands go out. The whole body opens, unfolds, neutral, and then elbows out and around. Open, unfold, close and fold. One more open, unfold, staying here, step comfortably wide. Left hand up over the top, reaching across palm to palm. Body side leaning, turning a little bit. Touch palms. And then come up over top, middle. Up over top, palm to palm. Now here, add a little awareness in this leg here of rolling this leg that way as you're leaning this way. So separate that space there. And then back to neutral. As you go to your right, roll your left thigh out a little bit. And then back to that neutral. Roll the right thigh. Now, both up over, cross, down between the legs, release. Cross, lift, open, unfold, and then up and over, cross, down. Cross, lift, open, out to the side, down. Again. And again. One more. Legs back to neutral, arms to neutral. Wrists come up over top, circle through and out. Circle, 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 circle. Reverse, under, circle, circle. Palms face forward, spread, gather, spread, gather, spread, gather. Now, spread, claw to a fist, open, claw to a fist, open, claw to a fist, open. Remember, Marjan, it's a fist here. Claw to a fist. Make a fist. Yeah. And then we do the bird beak. So thumb touch pinky, other three fingers also touch. Bend the wrist down and release. Touch pinky, bend wrist down. Back. Bird beak. Back. One more. And then shake loose. Scoot a little bit back on your chair. Find that stable quality. And then let's go right knee up. Take your hands, gently grab the right knee area and draw the leg up and in. Flex the foot. From here, release the hands and push away from you. Full extend. Reload. Use the hands to reload and then set the foot down. We're going to switch legs. Lift with the brain, lifting, and then use the hands to get that extra little something. And then release and push. Reload. Down. Two more each leg. Load. Push. Load. Down. Switch. Load. Push. Load. Down. Switch. Load. Push. Load. Down. In. Load. Push away. Reload. Right leg extend, point foot, flex foot, point, flex. And remember, when you get familiar with the sequence of something, rather than thinking, oh, I already know this, or I'm bored, remember, you can start to get better at being more thorough, getting more flow. Let's tilt the foot in and out. So it allows us something special when we are familiar with a form or a sequence. Let's go ahead and circle. So it's not all, what are we doing, sort of new. It's this idea of, okay, I've got the framework. Go ahead the other way. And then inside of that framework, you can start to develop more awareness of subtlety, spirals, better range of motion, more smoothness. Let's go ahead and switch feet, point and flex. And then tilt the foot a little in, out. Circle. Reverse circle. And down. Scoot all the way to the front edge of your chair. Step your feet wider apart than hip distance. Let's lift the toes up, turning on the heels, turn the toes in, knees in, and then knees and toes out. Knees and toes in, internal rotation. Knees and toes out, external rotation. From the hip joint, internal, external, internal, external, in, external, neutral. Now the heels are the moving part. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. This is a freedom of the foot. This ability to swivel on the heel and then swivel on the toe. That's really necessary in Tai Chi movement. There's a lot of that spiraling and turning, and also the micro adjusting of the feet to protect the knees when we start doing different standing postures. Let's go ahead and find neutral. From the hips, hip hinge, fold. As you hinge forward, turn on the hands, elbows come around towards the front. So notice my elbows here, and hip hinge, and then sit up tall and lean all the way back. Do it again. As you fold forward, turn the hands in, elbows wrap around out, and then up and back. We'll do 2 more. Shape shifting. So Chris, notice what I'm doing with my elbows. See this part? That's an important part. When you're wrapping those elbows out and around, you're opening the middle and upper back and bringing out something that's stuck there. And neutral. Now, same thing, but with a wide stance. The dragon takes a bow. Elbows flare around, drop into that space. Sit up tall, tip back. Sit up tall, fold forward. So again, an exercise routine like this in your chair while relaxing. You're practicing relaxing your way through movement instead of forcing and struggling. Has this potential to really set us up for success when we stand. Now tip back and tip to the right and drop down towards the right, sweep to the left, right? So this is the dragon stirs the seat. Right? You might be familiar with this one, which is a good thing. That you start to be able to just drop right into it and add some of those other layers, which would be as you're coming down, you're sort of turning and twisting to your right, and then as you come across, you're rolling the vertebrae around on each other. So you're getting a sort of unraveling spiral through the whole torso. And reverse. Right. 2 more. Dragon stirs the seat with its tail. And as you finish, come back to neutral. Hang those arms nice and loose, and let's wing. Turn your palms up and reach. Look up, arch the back a little, and reach right arm higher. And then left arm higher. And right arm higher. Left arm higher. Right arm. Left arm. And then both arms at the same time. Reach. And then wings. And then let's get the hunch out of the back. So arms behind, induce that hunchback a little bit more. And then arms down, forward, and up. Get rid of that hunchback and even go into a really nice back bend as much as you can. So again, think shape shift. Arms come forward and down. We're going through neutral, shape shift into the Quasimodo hunchback. And then shape shift back from there to neutral all the way into your back bend. Twice more. Shape shift. Changing shape. Doing it in a relaxed state. Doing it using song or soft, supple, pliable hydraulic power. Let's do 1 more, rather than using tension-based grip and yanking on the body. So we're relaxing and then moving. And finally back to neutral. Hands resting on the thighs, head and neck, chin down, neck down. And then again, it's the neck first, neck back, head back. And then head down, neck down. We want to get to where this feels like a seamless movement, but it has to include the 7 cervical vertebrae. Because again, what will often happen is the neck vertebra gets stuck, and then people are just moving the skull and then maybe a couple of the top vertebrae, but we need 7 vertebrae to be able to move all the way through that range, right? To have a hope of having a good upright head and neck and spine and body. So, couple more. Again, every human should do this every day, just like everyone should floss their teeth. But if you're dealing with something like Parkinson's or you're in the advanced age range, it becomes just so much more important to have a daily regimen doing these things. Now, neutral, rotation, turn to your right. And remember, the technique with this is be relaxed, turning to the right. Once you run into your edge, apply a little bit of force. So kind of this press or this turn with a little bit of lead or tension strength, but then remember you got to relax that as you float across to the other side. Go as far as you can using sung or soft, supple, pliable, and then apply a little bit of lead, a little bit of effort to go a little deeper, and then relax that effort. Soften and turn all the way to your right. Get to your edge. You might, without noticing it, you might start to increase the range that you can go in the relaxed state. This one's a lot like wringing out a rag. We go to that edge and we just wring out the rag a little extra and then just relax and melt as you come across. Get to that edge and apply a little effort and then relax. A little bit extra effort and relax. And then back to middle. Now important. Chin forward, head forward. The neck sort of slouches forward so that we can draw back, way back, way back. And again, we wouldn't want to get stuck like this, nor would we want to get stuck like this. This happens to be the one that people habitually get stuck in because of gravity and the way the body is made. But we got to be able to go there and go here and then go back to there. So that's the Taoist ideal of the bodies. All the mechanisms, full range in a relaxed, sung state. Find the middle. Helps us find middle. Side, tip, middle, other side. Middle, other side. Middle, other side. Middle. Now the circles. A small tip to the right, head back. Small tip to the left, head forward. And then just circle, letting the size of your circle grow. Remember, it's a tool, it's a weapon in this battle against what time is doing, what stagnation is doing, sort of entropy that's happening. When we take our body through these ranges of motion, we're promoting the positive, the procreative, the rejuvenative. We're feeding the brain. The brain's actually responding, receiving the message of these ranges of motion, going, oh, wow. And you're actually feeding stimulation to you. Now come around all the way in front and drop your head, let it hang totally loose. Float the head up directly above you onto the frame of your body. And then let's go the other way. Tip to your left and back, right and forward. Left, back, right, forward, and around you go. It's very interesting. The brain, I like the phrase, the door swings both ways. So the brain is sending signals out, telling the body what to do during our practice. But it's also creating stimulation that then goes back to the brain, feeds back. So we're creating a sort of a closed loop of therapeutic remedy. It's super empowering. Dive into the idea of personal practice. One more. Nice big circle. And just hang your head in front. Totally loose. Totally relaxed. Float the head up. Hang your arms loose. Scoot your feet back a little bit and hip hinge. Pour your body weight out of the chair, down to the earth, rising up. Remember, when it's time to sit, the first thing that happens is not the bend of the knees. It's the hinge of the hips, the pelvis back. Once that's happened, then this is all good, right? This gesture of sitting or standing, middle, fold. So finding how when you're here, you've got your middle connecting to the ground. When you get to here, your middle connecting to the ground. When your hips go back and your head and shoulders come a little forward and you sink, your middle connecting to the ground. Shape shift, right? We're shifting into this shape, and then we're shifting into this shape. Now let's do it without sitting in your chair. Shift into this almost like a standing fetal position. So I'm not sitting, my butt's low, hanging my arms, and then push through the earth and rise. And then hips forward, shape shift into this position. And then to the neutral position. And then to the hips back and the same. All right, so freedom of movement through this range. And then that should help us find neutral. Now we're standing. We've got our middle pivot, two legs, soft, connected down to the ground rather than locked, soft. The tail down rather than back like this, down. So just do this technique a couple of times. Take a hand back there, touch your lumbar, and go down. If you stick your butt back, do the wrong thing. You can feel you kind of run into a block. And so notice what technique it is to just let the tail go down, let this area flow down and through, right? So you'll see that a lot with Tai Chi practitioners when they're in a posture, they reach back and they just kind of rub their back down because there's a lot of tendency to do this or arch or do all kinds of things. So finding that through line, right? That's happening below. Above, shoulders are loose, scapula loose, arms floating. And then we just start to explore the moves. Rising hands, sinking, behind the body, rise, fluid, almost again like an octopus in water, or seek help. Right. So it's an experience much like you're moving within the liquid matrix of your own body rather than a heavy meat bone moving out here. It's more like you're moving inside your own fluid matrix. Now scoop the hands in front, wings. Let them flow through and sweep. Wing. Flow through. Wing, roll, fold. Wing, roll, fold. Down. Remember, that's soft and loose, spacious, easy, relaxed. So in a way, it's as if you're bypassing your joints. So when you do it right, you don't even ever feel your joints. You just kind of glide past, through, around. And then we go backs of hands, touching, out over top, full extension, soft. Backs of hands close to each other, rise, palms face forward, then out, then down. One more. And then embrace the moon, which is one of each. So from wings, one over, one under. They come close to each other. They separate from each other. They go around, over, under, forward, back. Hands down, scoop up, draw elbows back, push. Hands round behind, draw, push, draw, push, draw, push. Left hand first, push. Let this turn your body slightly. Left hand faces body, right hand ready to push, push and draw. Hand orientation change, push and draw. Hand orientation change, push and draw. Change. Back. The bear washing paws in the stream. Shift and turn, hands float over to the left. Shift and turn right, hands sweep across, brushing and sweep leg. Shift and turn. Bear swirls the street. Left hand goes forward, right, and around. So it's casting out, but staying low. Around. And it comes in close as your right hand will cast out and around. It stays low. Shift and turn. Shift and turn. And then the bear swats the low jumping fish. So we come up a little bit, palm face forward. This is still brush knee. This swats around belly level. And then turns palm over, drops down in the water as the other hand floats, lifts, palm face forward. Brush and swat. Be able to distinguish between low, medium, let's go a little higher, chest level. Also, one of the most important parts of the bear movements, Marjan, I'll make a little correction. You're here when you're coming across. One of the most important parts of it is this fang song, right? So go ahead and do that. Where you're coming across, you want to be fully extending to the tips of the fingers and coming across. And that's what pulls all this bound up mechanism tissue issues is this reach and then let it resolve and relax. So this comes up. Now we want to do that without tension. So if I think, oh, I got to reach further, then I get tense. Make sure it's with this soft, relaxed. That looks better. Yeah. And stay long all the way to the end till it gets around, and then let it soften and return to a sort of quality of neutral. And now this hand, reaching, extending to the tips of the fingers, and then let it come down. Now let's go for that higher jumping fish around sort of head level. But that same idea of reach and let it resolve. Shift and turn, reach, let it resolve. And again. Let's go for the scraping the sky. So now it's more of this vertical reach to the top of the room, the highest point in the ceiling, and then settling through the body, your weight more on the left side. And then straightening up through and reaching full extent. And then down. And then full extend. Reach. And down. One more. Full extend. Now that we've pulled all those parts apart, now stay in your right side, wing, roll, fold. We're ready for brush knee, shift and turn, brush and push. Now right hand comes down into the water, left arm, wing far away, roll, folds in. Now it's all stored and coiled up and flows right into shift, turn, and shooting out, spiraling out, push. As it dips into the water, right arm, wing, roll, fold, shift, turn. Wing, roll, fold, shift, turn. Couple more. Now let's go into that golden rooster. So your right foot empty, bring it a little behind you, toes turned out. Change your weight into that right leg. This is where really important to have that thing that I was talking about at the beginning, right? Check the tail. Also letting the standing leg soften into stability rather than stiffen into stability. Soften into stability. Sink down through it, take your left foot and touch the floor out in front of you. Just a little touch. As that your left foot's in front, bend your left elbow, point up, right hand dipping lightly into the water. Now, bring that left foot back, heels touching, toes turned out. Turn left palm forward, right palm in. Want all that to happen simultaneously. Then shift the weight into that left leg as your left hand comes down. Right elbow bends, fingers point up, right foot empty, touch. Right? Make sure your tail didn't slip out, right? Now bring the right foot back, simultaneously turning those palms. So you bring the foot back, turn right palm forward, left palm in. Marjan, notice I didn't say switch where the hands are. I just said turn the palms, right? So that's all that you do is as this foot comes back, look at what my hands do. They just orient differently. Okay? Then change the weight to your right leg as right hand goes down, left hand comes up, left foot floats forward. So it's two events. First event is the foot comes back, the left hand faces forward, right palm faces in. That's the first event. Second event, change the weight to your left leg. The hands change where they are in space. So if it's your right foot forward, it's my left, but if it's your right, that hand should be up. Bring the right foot back, right palm face forward, left palm face in. Change the weight. That's when the hands change. And here we are. Now, step up the challenge. So option one, just separate the toe from the floor and then put it back down for safety. Away from the floor and back down. If you had a chair near you, you could touch the chair to help you. Option two would be actually try to lift a little and then back down. Right? Somewhere in this range. Eventually you can get to this full lift, and remember to not lock out the standing leg, but soften into it. And then back down. Again, lift and down. Now bring that foot back, switch, turning the palms, changing which is high and low, put the toe out, and then add the challenge of toe disconnect and down, or small lift and down, or big lift and down. So the goal is, how's the cappuccino cup on your head? Right? And we break up what is blocked and heavy in this leg so that eventually, not only is it better at lifting, but when this leg is able to really be soft and relaxed, then when we shift weight onto it, the weight goes straight through and gets to the earth. And now this one is empty and we can switch. And then this one being soft and relaxed, we reconnect it to the earth. And just from our middle, arrange the weight so it goes through this soft leg. Keep it soft as you float up and down. Chain. Golden rooster. Down. Chain. Golden rooster. And down. Now, wash your paws. Play with clouds. Stay in your left leg, turn to your left, right hand, vapor up becomes a cloud. Shift, turn, cloud, leg. And then cloud rains down, leg vapors up, shift, turn, cloud, leg. Try to keep the idea of zhongjung, that you have a central upright quality that's staying somewhat vertical. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight because that can become tense. But you want to feel this idea of uprightness. And that is rotatable, right? That it can turn. And that when you turn from your middle, that is the lion's share of what brings the arms across space. So rather than I'm stiff and I'm doing all this arm stuff, if I'm turning from the middle, that's most of what needed to happen, and then the arms go through. So this shift and turn, that's all torso chain, waist turn, and then the hands go through, right? Now let's add to it that challenge of shift and turn. Your right foot should be empty here. Bring the right foot in as your hands change. Step the right foot out, and then let's shift and turn. As the hands change, slide in, slide out. So this practices many things, one of which is really understanding your quad. So here you should feel your quad being pulled open, and then you close your right quad, open it back up. Then when you're shifting and turning, you're feeling this one close, this one open. Right? And then there's this closing, opening, shift and turn. So these are just mechanics of movement. In, out, shift, turn. And then wash your paws, settling to neutral. Now, put all your weight in your right leg, turn your left foot out, let's say 5 degrees. Just a little turnout, doesn't have to be a lot, but eventually it could be more. shift into that leg and step. So notice when I stepped, I didn't step here, I stepped here. So there's width, length. So it could be here, could be here, could be here, could be a lot smaller, but I just don't want it to be crossing. So it's got to have some open and forward. Now 100, 0, shift into this leg 70, turn the hips to point forward. And then let's find this of shift 100, 0, and 70, 30. Now remember the primary direction is down. So as you're going back, think down, not back, right? And when you're going forward, think down. And down, not in a way that I'm pushing into my leg and let's say like jamming it. I'm more opening. It's like they say, it's like an accordion. Just let the accordion of the leg just gently compress, you could say, as this one extends. And then as I'm going into this leg, it's like a closing of the accordion as this leg is opening, elongating. And then, right? So this different relationship to the ground, and yet my torso is moving forward and backward. Switch legs. Bring the right foot back, heels touching, toes turned out. 100, 0, width, length, still 0, and then go 70, hips point forward, torso forward, and then 100, 0, 70, 30, 100, 0, 70, 30. So we're not doing anything too sophisticated with hips, torso, and arms, right? We're really not doing anything. We're just along for the ride and feeling this 70, 30, 100, 0 change. Now switch. Boom. Shift 70, 30. Now pause here. Stay 70, 30. Turn your waist more. Just notice how far can you turn. So right here, the navel's pointing straight ahead. Turn it to this corner. Now stay pointing to that corner. Go back 100% into your left leg. Staying in that left leg, turn so that now you're to this corner. So now as you shift 70% to your front leg, turn. Staying in that front leg, turn more. And then shift back. 100. Stay back here. Turn. Shift and turn. 70, 30. Turning to the corner. Shift and turn. Wash your paws in the stream. Swirling the stream. So we have a different foot arrangement. Swap jumping fish. Various levels of the jumping fish. Russian push. Wash your paw. Switch. Back leg. Step back. Change. Step. We've got shift and turn. Turn more to the corner. Stay turned to the corner as you shift back. And then turn. And then shift and turn 70, 30. Turn body, sit back. Wash your paws. Swat the fish. My favorite parts of Tai Chi is just how creative it is supposed to be. We're supposed to tap into our own body, right? Once we've learned these different moves, we're supposed to find the chi, find the flow, brush and pull, brush and pull. And neutral. Closing with sink chi wash organs where very safely tip a little bit into your heels, open and lift. Tip into your toes, sweep around, palms face up. Rock a little bit back, tip back, bring in the upper. Settle to the middle. Remember your Tai Chi squat, hips back, elbows forward, slightly sink, and release through. Push through the earth and rise. When we do it again, rock back, open and lift. That's a fluid gesture. Rock forward, sweep around. Rock back, bringing in. Settle to the middle hand, settle to the belly. Hollow and through. One more time. Shoulder, wing roll forward. Settle to the belly. Let everything settle completely, consolidate, seal. And great job, everyone. Any questions? We've got in-person Tai Chi tomorrow at 1:30 at the Lutheran Church off of Excelsior, off Park Boulevard. I hope to see some of you there. You have to unmute, Karen.
I can't come on Saturday. My son is having a huge birthday party, and I got.
Oh, cool.
But I'll be there the next week.
Great. Great. Take care. Keep practicing, y'all.
Thanks.